engine knock is an unwanted engine sound usually created by too much oil clearance between a crankshaft and a connecting rod. Often the cause is a lack of lubrication.
We have a customer that came in complaining of loud internal engine noise on this 2004 Dodge Stratus, and we believe the noise to be possibly a loose torque converter or a broken flex plate, and we're going to try to prove that right now. It would seem that Blake has found the problem, and we've confirmed that it's a broken flex plate, so he's going to change this and do some other service work on the engine. Okay, we're back on the F-150. We have a evap smoke machine on it, and we can see a considerable amount of smoke underneath the vehicle. We can see that it's coming right out of the manifold itself, and we'll try to get a better view of that and update this video.
Back in the shop here on the 2008 Ford F-150 with the exhaust manifold leak, and right now we're just looking at right at the front of the exhaust manifold. You can't see the bolt just because the coil springs right in the way, but that's the smoke coming out right above where that exhaust manifold stud is missing.
And what you're looking at here is an exhaust leak. The customer concern was a exhaust noise or a tick noise under the hood, and it didn't really stop or get better when it got warm. So we smoke tested it. We put an evap smoke machine on it, blew smoke in the exhaust, and what we found is a little tiny pinhole, number one caused by rust, but it may have been damaged by something at some point too. The metal looks very, very thin, and right there you can see it coming out of that little tiny pinhole slightly to the left of center of the screen. As you can see here, the valve in the back on the left of the screen is not moving at all, and this indicates definitely a worn valve train component or possible worn cam lobe. What we're looking at here is a severely worn cam lobe, and what happened to this was the roller lifter seized and ruined the camshaft. The next series of components were from a late 70s Mopar application, and what you're seeing here is a lack of lubrication, and it caused significant damage. Push rod went through one of the rockers, and what you're also seeing is the cam lobe worn and the lifter dished and worn due to lack of lubrication and just mechanical wear and age. And here we're looking at an oil pump off a supercharged 5.3 liter, and this pump failed almost brand new. And what we're looking at here is the bypass or pressure relief valve, and it is stuck in the open position because casting flash or machining material were stuck in the valve. This resulted in lack of oil pressure and some damage to some lower end crank bearings. This is one example of a Honda VTEC oil control solenoid valve, and the solenoid valve's job is to turn on and off to direct oil flow to the VTEC. And what was happening here is the gasket that you're looking at now on the left had a massive leak, and it was leaking both externally and it was leaking also between two passageways or ports in the oil control valve. So you can see here between two ports in the middle, those two ports were leaking together. And the last concern that we're looking at in this montage is a broken engine mount on a GM 5.3 liter. And this mount was actually torn and in really, really bad shape, causing the engine to torque a lot under acceleration. And you're looking at the old mount here, and here is a picture of the new mount right before installation. This is just a small sample of some common engine mechanical concerns. Please be on the lookout for these at the dealership and in the CECO lab, and please use this information and service info to diagnose these correctly.